Here at A Couple Believe, we're all about inspiration. And that's why we teamed up with a company who's all about supporting the educators who inspire us every day. Teachers Insurance Plan, auto insurance dedicated to giving educators the special rates and great service they deserve. Welcome back to another episode of A Couple Believe. Today we have a powerhouse guest who knows a thing or two about fighting for her dreams inside and outside of the ring. She's the definition of grit, resilience, and determination. From humble beginnings in New Jersey to becoming a WWE Women's Champion and first ever Crown Jewel Women's Champion, her journey has been inspiring countless people around the world, and it gives you something, a passion to never give up. Liv Morgan, welcome to A Couple Believe podcast.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. I appreciate you having on. And obviously, got to hit it off right away because we are both Jersey people. Tell me what it was
Yes.
like being born and raised in New Jersey and that toughness that it gave you to go out into the real world and accomplish some of your dreams that you have.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about growing up in New Jersey. I feel like only people that are born and raised there know what it is. Like, you know what I'm talking about, but I don't know how to verbalize that to anyone else when I'm asked, like, about like the wit and the grit and the street smarts that growing up in New Jersey gives you. Like, I don't know how else to verbalize that. Like, I don't know.
It's funny because the rest of the world they look at us and they're like, "Oh, the armpit is safe." But then, when we're from Jersey, everywhere we go, we got to represent, and we're very
Yeah.
prideful. We may fight with each other, but let somebody else talk junk about us, then we got to give it back.
Yeah. Whenever I meet someone and they let me know they're from New Jersey, I instantly like I feel that connection.
Absolutely,
I
absolutely.
feel
So,
that connection. My guard is now lowered.
exactly, it just comes about it. So, how did your WWE fandom begin? Like, actually, at a young age, watching growing up, but like, what inspired you to really start watching the WWE?
Yeah. So I grew up with four older brothers. I'm six
Mm-hmm.
out of seven children, and I grew up like a tomboy. And so I
Mm-hmm.
naturally gravitated towards anything that my brothers liked or anything that they did. And I just remember one day they just showed me WWE, and I think I don't know, I just had never seen anything like that before, and I
Mm-hmm.
think it was a mix of like the physicality, the competitiveness, the stories, the characters, the outfits, the lights. Like, I loved the women's wrestlers especially, and so I kind of just saw it and I fell in love with it right away, and I was so obsessed with it. I remember coming home from school, and like, if I fell asleep, if I took a nap, and if my mom woke me up at like 8:03 p.m., I'd wake up screaming, crying because I missed 3 minutes of Monday Night Raw. Like, I loved it so much. It was very much like a safe space for me at home, and so um, yeah, I loved it right away.
That's so funny you mentioned because I remember being a kid and God, like you said, you had to be in front of the TV back then watching it when it came on
Yeah,
live, and I'll be beating up my teddy bear, putting them in all these different wrestling moves and like the walls of Jericho, all this crazy stuff
yes. Like,
as
you
a
couldn't
kid.
miss a second of it. You didn't want to miss a second of it.
Exactly. And did you have any, and like, as somebody that influenced you as you were watching? Like, obviously, we all know we have our fans that we grow up as a
Yeah,
child. Who did you
Lita.
look up
I
to?
think Lita definitely was
Lita.
my influence. Like I said, I grew up a tomboy, so I wore like baggy pants and sneakers, and I was always fighting my brothers. And here's this woman in baggy pants and sneakers fighting the boys, and so I saw her, and I just like thought she could be my friend, and that's something I kind of like I'd hope to instill in, you know, people and fans and kids watching me, is like they see me and they're like, oh, that girl could be my friend. Maybe not right now. Maybe not at this phase right now.
No, that's awesome. I remember watching Lita, and she was so awesome. The way that she, like you said, wearing those UFO pants and doing all the flips around the ring, like
Yeah, and those
that was that
sneakers. What were
generation.
those
Yes,
sneakers? What was she
I
wearing?
can't remember the sneakers, but I do remember those gigantic UFO pants. That was crazy
Yeah.
how she was able to do those moves and those pants as a kid
Yeah.
watching that. And that's all watching obviously wrestling is one thing, but getting yourself in the tip top shape to be able to perform at that level. Tell me what that was like. And I know we have a mutual friend and our buddy Joe DeFranco, but tell me
Yeah, I was
what
gonna
that's
say Joe
like.
D.
Joe D, he's the
Um,
man. He's special.
yeah, he was pivotal in uh, all of my success. Before I met Joe, I didn't know how to work out. I had never worked out a day in my
Mm,
life. I didn't know anything about nutrition or recovery. I really didn't know anything in like the sports world. And so when I met Joe, he just taught me so much and just spent so much of his time. He was so selfless and like the knowledge and the time that he gave me. And so he taught me everything. He taught me everything I know. He taught me how to work out. He taught me strength and conditioning. He taught me how to like run properly.
okay.
And so he just is so incredible. And
That's,
yeah, he's the man.
That's so funny you say that. And you can think about like you can say yes, I he helped me with this, and I mean that, but also mentally you had to put the effort to say I'm going to commit to this. I'm going to make this my lifestyle. That takes a certain discipline to be able to do that. What I guess
Oh, for
would you
sure.
say
Thank
really
you.
inspired you to be capable of saying, you know what, I'm going to be determined to listen to this forward because anybody could veer off the pathway and not do it, but you committed
Yeah.
yourself to it.
What inspired me, I feel like, was just like reaching my goals and
Hmm.
trying to see if I could make my dreams come true. And so I knew that I had to show up and I had to do whatever it took to get me prepared for, hopefully making my dreams come true. I think just my dreams inspired me so much to
Hmm.
stay on the right path and to stay consistent and to kind of push through whatever trials and tribulations that I was going through just because I wanted it so badly.
And that's why I have so much respect for it because there's obviously the in the ring character and then there's the outer ring character that people don't see behind the scenes and all the toughness and the hard work and the determination that it takes to get there. But being in the ring and learning the mic skills, tell me what that is like.
It was
Going through
all
that.
so hard. Let
Yeah,
me
I
it was
know it
it
is.
was so hard. It was so hard. Um yeah, I think I like set myself up for failure a little bit because I
Mhm,
thought that because I was a lifelong fan, I'd show up and be great right away and that I'd
mhm.
get everything right away and that it'd be such a natural, but I really wasn't. I was actually like quite the opposite. It was so unnatural learning everything, and I didn't grow up a performer. I was actually a very shy girl. And so learning promos and entrances and all the in-ring work, it was like years and years and years and years of classes and training to even feel like confident. Um, and I know everyone's journey is different. Everyone gets things at their own rate, but for me, it took quite a long time. But I enjoy it because I feel like it made everything so much sweeter. It made all
Absolutely.
the success so much sweeter.
Yeah, it's all about the journey. And I do obviously speaking for a living. And I will say, when I first started speaking, I would speak 100 miles per hour, not emphasize on certain points occasionally.
Yeah.
And I would get done like, yeah, I did a great job. And then people were like, no, Eric, that was not good. I'm like, okay. And then you got to go back to the drawing board and learning and learning and learning.
No, I'm sure it was great, but I feel like there's always just room for improvement and there's always room for
And
fine tuning. Not everyone is gonna be great at something right away. Like if you are, like amazing, but if you're not, um, I wish that people stuck to something, even if they weren't good at it right away, for a long enough time to give themselves the opportunity to see how great they could be. You know?
yes,
Um,
absolutely. I feel like that's the
because if
kind of
that's the
like
case, like I'm
generational
sure I
learning.
would have quit. I'm sure you would have quit, but you have to give yourself like
Mhm.
that time and grace.
So right now you're in a pivotal moment of your career. You're on the highest of the highs, the top of the world right now. Tell me what it took in order to get there and then be able to attain that success and be able to run with it. Because tell you what, girl, you're doing a hell of a job with it.
Thank you. I think it just took consistency.
Hmm.
Consistency, being able to take criticism, being coachable, um, I think for me, luckily, like my hunger and my passion throughout this whole process, it's never like died or wavered or slowed down. I've always, I still want this as much as I did my first day walking through the performance center
Mhm.
doors, and so I feel like because that's never changed at all, it's always been able to keep me motivated. And also, I'm such a fan of like positive self talk. I keep journals
Mhm.
that I write in constantly. So, a couple different tools that I use, but really just being able to kind of just keep my head down and just do the work and stay motivated by my dreams. And I've luckily had a very good support system. And yeah, I don't know. I've been very lucky. I've been very lucky.
Are there any specific moments or setbacks that you may have had in your career that you could think of that you were able to overcome or think like, you know what, I can get through this, or man, I may need some help right now going through this tough moment, or anything specific that
Yeah,
sticks out?
my shoulder surgery. I had shoulder surgery in July of last year. I had dislocated my shoulder, and in doing that, I tore my rotator cuff, my labrum, and my bicep. And that was my first injury of my career. I had not had a surgery before, and so I really didn't know what to expect or what I was in for, just as far as the recovery process. And I needed help for everything kind of in the beginning. I wasn't able
Mhm.
to dress or undress. I wasn't able to brush my hair or put my hair up. Um, Mentally, it was different for me because I was so used to being on TV every week and being at WWE. And so to kind of sit home for the first time in my career, it was different. I didn't know how I liked to spend my time. And I had gone from no time with myself to all of a sudden I had all the time in the world, you know?
Mhm.
And so it was definitely different for me. And it was challenging, but like I said, I had such a great support system. I was so excited to come back to work and to be stronger than I've ever been. And we made it back. We made it back on the other side.
You sure did, and it's so funny hearing you speak that way because I felt the same exact way. Obviously, when my injury happened, like I had all the time in the world. To now, I felt like I obviously was fighting for my life, but now I have all this time with myself and all the
Yeah.
thoughts that come to your head, and like, who am I as like a person now if I'm not as a football player? All these different things, but my support system helped me get through those
Yeah.
tough moments and dealing with adversity. So it's very cool to hear you actually say the same kind of similar pathway as you were battling back through all the injuries with your shoulder,
Yeah.
torn bicep, and everything.
Yeah. It was, man, it was so crazy to see my arm and to see it like just not in its correct place. I was like, oh my
Oh,
goodness. I knew right away. I knew right away. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna need some time off.
he came back best and better than ever because the
Thank you.
WWC is always coming up with making history and doing crazy things and accomplishing new goals and becoming the crown jewel champ, the first one ever. Tell me about that, Liv. Come on, there it is, there it
Amazing.
is. Please tell me what it's like. Continue to make history with this company that's been around for so many years, and you're at the top of it as the
Man,
first one.
thank you. Yeah, I mean, um, all I wanted in WWE is to kind of give myself the opportunity to see like how good I could become and
Mm-hmm.
wanting to carve a legacy of my own. I didn't have family in WWE. I wasn't like a Division 1 athlete. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so I really wanted to just see if I could create my own path and carve my own legacy and, to be the first and only women's crown jewel champion is something that no one else could say. It's something that no one else in this company could say that they've done except me. And so I know
I
I'm
like the
just like,
pride
oh
behind it.
man,
I hear the
it's
pride behind it. I
it's
love that.
cool. It's really cool and it's something that I never really knew if I could ever do, be a champion, let alone to become the first and only at something. And so yeah, it's not lost on me. Like, I'm very excited about it, and I think it's super cool.
It is very cool. So congratulations and more
Thank
kudos to you.
you.
And let's talk a little bit about the women's division and how it's grown over the years. And there's so many, obviously, so many great athletes out there. And you said you didn't cover a Division One school, but look how you're able to be at the top of the game in this game. Like, how would
It's
you say about the women's division and what it's out there and just some of the talent of these girls?
Yeah, I feel like everyone, is always like, we have the best women's division of all time. But I'm like, no, we have really the best women's division of all time across the board between Raw, SmackDown, NXT. Um, it's incredible. It's really incredible, and it's so cool because it's like you always want to leave things better than you found it. And I still have quite a while here, so no one should be getting too comfortable, but it's just amazing to know that the next generation and the next generation and the next generation of women WWE superstars, it's like so secured. So that's such an incredible feeling. It's so cool.
And yeah, you guys do a lot with the WWE, obviously on the road traveling and whatnot. What is that like when you get to go into schools, or if you're going into, say, maybe a hospital visit kids that are maybe not doing well, or you're just going out in public and people see you and they come up to you and they run up to you and they want to be around you? Tell me what that feeling is like being such a big megastar around the world and being an inspiration for the younger generation.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, when we get to do these community visits in the different towns and the cities that we get to go to, it's always so humbling to even think that, like, my presence can make someone's day better, or you know what I mean? Like, I'm just always like, wow, I can't believe that seeing me or me being around is gonna brighten the mood, and so it's like one of my favorite parts about what we do is like, getting to put smiles on faces and to see people kind of forget about whatever worry they had in the moment or whatever was going on in the moment, and to kind of just laugh for a little bit and play for a little bit and just have a nice distraction for a while.
Yeah, and as you're living in your moment, you're living in all your glory and everything that's going on as a champion. Can you see yourself even grown, even bigger than where you are, even later on
Yes.
doing like film and TV?
Yes.
Okay, okay, yes.
Oh, film and TV and other stuff.
And,
I thought you meant within WWE. I was like,
well,
ooh, this is the best
well, no,
I've
I
been so
know. Oh
far.
no, I already know that you're going to keep on going with WWE. That's already signed, sealed, and delivered. You're going even higher than what you are now. So, what's your character? That's already known for sure.
Thank you. As far as I guess film and TV, I'd like to see what I can do in that space. And WWE's been like so amazing and kind of letting me um take auditions and have meetings and see, what can come about. So there's definitely interest, but I mean, I am the greatest women's world champion of all time, the first and only women's crown jewel champion. My plate is so full right now.
Yeah, go ahead and talk your shit, girl. I love it. Baby face or heel? I gotta ask.
As far as what?
As far as just a character in general, baby face or heel, do you like to be, or is it something that you liked
I
as a
think I
kid growing up?
gravitate towards bad guys,
Yeah, the
kind of
heel.
maybe naturally. I just feel like, there's a reason for everything. There's a reason for this behavior. There's something misunderstood there that I kind of want to figure out. That's like that's my toxic trait. That's my red flag.
That's your red flag that you're trying to figure out there. And then when you get
Yeah.
that crowd too, when everyone's yelling and booing at you too, you kind of feed off of that. Am I correct? When you're in the ring, that's how you know you're
Oh yeah,
really
it's the best.
affected
It's so
now.
funny. It's so funny. It's such a different feeling than being cheered, like being disliked.
Hmm.
And to get people like riled up enough to where they want to voice their displeasure for you, like that is such a funny feeling, and I love it. I'm obsessed with it, and I want to see. I want to see how much of it that I can get.
That is so funny. I love it. And I gotta ask, as we're having fun questions like this. Anyone in your past or present, and going to go for a tag team now, that you would love to be your partner? If it's somebody from the past or someone you would pick in the present as a tag team partner.
You know, I've had incredible success in my
Hmm.
tag team with Raquel Rodriguez. We are two-time women's tag team champions. So I don't want to fix what's not broken. I
There
would
you
choose
go.
Raquel. I would choose Raquel. And if it was a boy, I would choose Daddy Dom.
Ah, Daddy Doll. I love it. Oh, that's great. I love it. That's great. That's great. And obviously you're on the road all the time. You're with Jersey Girl, but is there anywhere else around the country that you've really enjoyed or traveled to, or even around the world that you're like, wow, this place really sticks out to me?
Yeah, I love when we go to Japan. Um, just the food, the culture, the cleanliness. I'm just like, whoa, I could live here. I had like
Yeah.
the best ramen of my whole entire life. I'm like a bit of a ramen connoisseur, and I had the
Okay.
best ramen in my, which no surprise, it was in Japan. Like, are you kidding? Yeah, it was just so incredible when we go there. I always try to wake up early, or I'll go to sleep a little bit later just to try to explore a little bit and like take advantage of the opportunity. I mean, there's so many places because Australia is amazing. Um, every time we go to Saudi Arabia, like their hospitality is so incredible, you know. So there's so many places, which is so crazy because my first time on an airplane was going to Orlando, Florida for my tryout for WWE, and now we jet set on a weekly basis. It's just weird.
Talk about crazy experience. I mean, you're living it and seeing all these different places. It's amazing to see. But obviously, being a Jersey Girl, when you come back home, I gotta ask, where are you going, or where are you telling your friends about? What areas that you need to show people around Jersey, either restaurants or
Ooh.
areas you want to go to? Just in the area, it could be New York
I
City as
have a
well.
couple
But
places.
okay, let's talk about them.
Blue 42,
Hmm.
the Wing Spot. Don't know if you've been there.
I've not been there, but I've actually heard of Blue
Best
42.
chicken wings ever. I mean, honestly, everything's good, but they have the best wings ever. I think they won like best wings in New Jersey last
Yeah.
year.
That's
Um,
why I think I actually heard that. I wonder if NJ.com put out that article, but
yeah,
if
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't,
Check it out.
I
They're so
don't.
good.
Okay.
Also Taste of Italia in New Jersey, which was right down the street from the high school I went to.
Hmm.
Best chicken cut, just best chicken cutlet subs ever. I almost like
Ooh.
I almost I lost my train of thought speaking because I'm envisioning the chicken cutlet and I'm like, oh my god, it's so good. I haven't had it in so long. Um, Also Vicarios in Elmwood Park. Um,
Mhm,
Vicarios I started going to when I started training with Joe DeFranco and was like on like my healthier regimen. They just make really
mhm,
great, homemade food in like bulk. Their walls are full of like bodybuilders and different people that have, prepped out of there.
mhm.
They're great. And also Santoni's Pizza in Garfield. I don't know if it still exists, but it was down the street from the very first apartment that I rented. And they had the best cheese pizza ever. Ever, ever,
See,
ever, ever, ever. So those are
if they
like my
do,
spots right away that I'm
I
like,
gotta I
ooh,
gotta look that up because I'm a big pizza guy, so I gotta definitely check that out. And
yeah.
then in New Jersey, you can't go wrong with food. We
Best
literally have
pizza, best
pizza,
sandwiches.
Italian, exactly.
What?
See, yeah, see, you're talking my languages now, so.
So good. I know.
But tell me a little bit what it's like living life on the road and being gone so many days a week. And but to like, I want to like what's it like the detail of packing, like getting from point A to point B. Like how tough is that to manage? And obviously you have a great team around you, but what is that life on the road?
I feel like it's different for everyone. So when I speak, it's like purely my experience. It's easy for me.
Yeah, because it's because you're a
I
boss. That's why.
It's easy for me. Honestly, I don't mind it. Like
Hmm.
let me go. Like I gotta go to work. What? I'm gonna be on
Hmm.
Raw. I'm gonna be on SmackDown. I'm the women's champion. Are you kidding me? Like of course. Honestly, that's how I feel about it. Like I'm so okay with going and getting to be a WWE superstar, beginning to be a champion. You know what I mean? But like I said, different for everyone. People have spouses and kids.
Hmm.
Um, I'm sure that makes, the scenario different. But for me, I'm like free as a bird, and I'm like, let me go. Let me go do my thing. Do you need me? I'll do this appearance.
That's
So
amazing.
it's easy for me, and I'm okay with it, and I love it, and I'm kind of like, I want more.
Well, no, I'm glad that you because like you said, everyone has different experiences, and obviously, you have really embraced it and you enjoy it, and you're signing up for things, and that's why people love you because you're personable and they want to be around you. So I commend you for that because that lifestyle
Thank
isn't
you.
for everyone, but you're able to do it.
Thank you. But also, I live on a farm in my real life. So it's like the contrast, I think, helps. I think like the
I do
contrast
remember the
helps.
pig. I remember the pet pig and
Yeah,
everything.
I still have
Yes,
him. Pickles. I still have him. I feel like if
pickles.
I, yeah, I feel like the contrast does me well. So maybe I should
Uh,
include that.
Before I let you go, I wanted to let you ask you about the upcoming PLEs and the move to Netflix and what's that's going to be like
Woo!
for you guys. Yeah, like tell me a little bit about how excited you are for the brand to grow.
Yeah, I'm so excited. We have a Survivor Series coming up, War Games. It's gonna be
Mm.
Team Liv versus Team Rhea. And so I am very much, you know, um looking forward to that. I am, of course, concocting my own plan. And so we have that coming up, very exciting. But Netflix, January 2025, baby. I'm so
Mhm,
excited. I'm so excited for like everyone else to have the Netflix experience that I'm
mhm,
sure we all have, like so many times I've scrolled through Netflix thinking I've seen it all, and then like I'll just pick something that I typically wouldn't maybe put on, and then it ends
mhm,
up like loving it. I'm so excited for everyone to have that experience with WWE, whether you're already watching it or whether the nostalgia is what drew you to put it on,
mhm,
or you know maybe you just decided to watch it because you didn't know what else to put on, but then you stayed because of the
mhm,
amazing characters and the amazing stories and the amazing feats of physicality that you're watching. You know what I mean? I'm so excited for so many people to have that experience of just putting it on and maybe not expecting to like it or not knowing what to expect, and then absolutely falling in love with it and having the experience that I had when I first watched it. I'm just so
mhm.
excited for all the new viewers and to be on that platform. I think it's going to be so amazing and really, really, really special. Like, if you love us now, just wait.
Well, I actually saw that you recently made a new vehicle purchase, and I did myself. I got my own van called the Dark Knight that I named after. Yeah, and
Love.
I purchased from Mobility Works. And let me tell you, the Dark Knight gets me from place to place. But tell me a little bit about your vehicle purchase that you just made.
Are you talking about the Tessie?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I just wanted like an energy efficient vehicle, I still have my little Jeepy that I love. I have a bright yellow
Mhm.
Jeep Rubicon. She's my ride or die. I love her. But I wanted to have something electric, and so I got the Tesla, and man, let me tell you, I love this thing. At first I
Legit.
was really intimidated by it because I'm like not technology advanced at all, and I picked the
Mhm,
most like high-tech car to drive, and so I was nervous at first, but it's like
mhm,
really easy and simple, and inside is so simple. It's like very sleek and minimalist. But I love driving it. It lets you see like all the other cars on the road on this little screen.
mhm.
It's so silent, which I love. I didn't realize how loud my Jeep was until I started driving the Cybertruck, and I was like, oh my gosh, my car sounds terrible. It's so loud. The Tesla is so quiet, and so it's been fun, and I've been enjoying it.
That's amazing. I love to hear that. And before we go, we have a great sponsor in the Teachers Insurance Plan in New Jersey. And I wanted to ask you, is there a special educator or teacher that stuck out in your life that you can remember going way back when that really had just a positive impact on you that you might want to give a shout out to or just thank them for anything that they may have helped you with?
I do. I have like two that stick out to me.
Okay.
Yeah, one was my first grade teacher, Miss Descola. She just was like such a cool and like funky and like loud in the best way woman. And I remember just like seeing her and just thinking she was so cool and like brave, you know? Um, and so I feel like, yeah, I saw her and like I wanted like her confidence and I wanted her energy. And then I think the second one is my fourth grade teacher, Miss Pollock.
Miss Polly.
I just always loved her. I always loved Miss Pollock. She was a great teacher, and yeah, her classroom felt like a home to me for whatever reason. I don't even know, and I didn't even know I thought that way until I just said it right now. But she made her classroom feel like a home to me, and so I never forgot about Miss Pollock or Miss Scola. Shout out to them both.
Shout out to them both. And I want to thank you, Liv, for taking the time to join us today. I know you didn't have to, but it really is extra special to us. And we appreciate you coming on a Couple Believe podcast. And we know you got a bunch of fans over here. We wish you nothing but
Thank
the
you.
best going forward and keep on being that badass that you are.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
This episode is brought to you by Mobility Works. As the nation's largest provider of wheelchair accessible vehicles, Mobility Works has been helping people connect with who and what matters most since 1997. Visit mobilityworks.com to find your ideal mobility solution today.